Hey, everybody, this is Joe Joseph for the DailySheeple.com. I want to go over to ZeroHedge.com. This kind of got me thinking a little bit. The reality is half of Americans can't afford to write a $500 check. I want you to think about that in perspective to how our non-representing representatives and the powers that shouldn't be like to frame things, and how, oh yes, we're just so prosperous right now. This recovery is just cranking into gear. Why, there's a bull market right now. Funny, but many people in America, the majority of Americans, just don't feel it. The article says the CEO of Assurant appeared on Bloomberg TV to explain why demand for his services is likely to increase. The chief executive of the mobile phone insurer says he expects a surge in demand as carriers charge customers more to replace their devices. Quote, if you think back 5 years ago, you as a consumer didn't know how much that phone cost. You thought it was free or close to free. This according to Alan Kohlberg. He says, now you're paying $600. That's a lot. So we've actually seen the attachment rate or the number of people buying the product going up a little bit over the last 5 years. He then proceeded to give Bloomberg his traditional sales pitch. Assurant is counting on growth and its business covering phones and appliances to help counter a decline in the segment that insures foreclosed homes for lenders. While improvements in the real estate market has limited the number of vacant homes, Kohlberg says there are still many cash-strapped consumers. It's what's, he says, the next thing that caught their attention. He says the reality is half of Americans can't afford to write a $500 check. He spun that statistic by saying that when U.S. consumers sign up for a cellular plan, they're willing to buy protection in case they lose that phone or something happens to it. In other words, there are millions of Americans who don't have $500 in the bank but are willing to dish out more than that on a cell phone, and then are stupid enough to make monthly payments that ultimately end up being far higher than $500 to protect their purchase, which they clearly couldn't afford in the first place. This is what they're saying. Now, if you take a look at a survey on bankrate.com, out of 1,000 adults, 57% of Americans surveyed say they don't have enough cash to cover a $500 unexpected expense. 57%, folks. Unbelievable. And 63% from 2016. So it's a little bit from 2016 to present. It's gone down just a little bit, but 57% of Americans can't afford a $500 expense. And we're in a recovery. And I hope you all feel recovered because I certainly do. I'm Joe Joseph. This was the DailySheeple.com's New Shot, and I'll have one again for you real soon. Take care, everybody.